Welcome to the Family History Guide, Researching Records in Scotland. Goal 1, Research and Records. This goal will teach you step by step about the records you need to help you find your Scottish ancestors and relatives. Scottish immigration to America began in the earliest colonial days. In the 1690s, failed harvests in Scotland increased the immigration to America. Beginning in the 1600s and culminating with the passage of the British Transportation Act in 1718, the courts of Scotland sent thousands of prisoners to America. From 1750 to about 1860, Scottish tenants were evicted from their property and a significant number came to America. This is called the Highland Clearances. When Great Britain conquered Northern Ireland, they replaced the native Irish population with Scottish farmers. These same Scottish farmers were then forced off their land when sheep herds took over the farmlands. Famine in Ireland also contributed to the movement to America. Consequently, there was a continual flow of immigrants to America. A Scottish clan is a kinship group among Scottish people. The word clan comes from the Gaelic word clan, meaning children. Scottish names were originally patronymics, where the children had a surname with patronymic marker, Mac, followed by the father's first given name. The earliest Scottish parish record is that of Christian Hay, baptized on December 27, 1553. The earliest civil registration records began in 1855. Scotland births and baptisms date from 1564 to 1950. The major websites with records from Scotland include scotlandspeople.gov.uk, findmypast.com, familysearch.org, myheritage.com, and Ancestry.com. The Scotland's People website is maintained by the National Records of Scotland, a non-ministerial department of the Scottish Government, which was formed in 2011 from a merger of the General Register Office for Scotland and the National Archives of Scotland. The website contains the statutory registers of births, marriages, deaths, census returns, church records, valuation or tax rolls, and legal records from Scotland's courts of law. Catholic Heritage, or CatholicHeritage.net, is the website for the Networking Archives and Libraries of the Catholic Church, NALCC, project. The project aims to bring together numerous organizations across Britain and Ireland, forging partnerships between diocesan archives, bishops' conferences, seminaries, and religious orders to provide users with a centralized access point to an online collection of archive and library catalogs within the Catholic Church. The Scotland Census contains records for tax and representation purposes. The census began in 1801, but from 1801 to 1831, the forms do not give names but are comprised of statistical information, and most do not survive. The regular census with names began in 1841 and has continued every 10 years since that time, except for 1941 because of World War II. The census records are released to the public every 100 years, and the 1921 census just became available in 2022. The census records provide names, ages, relationships, occupations, and residences. Scotland's church records began in 1552, when the General Provincial Council ordered Scotland's parishes to keep registers of baptisms and marriages. The earliest registers commenced from 1553 In the 1560s, the Catholic Church was abolished and Presbyterianism grew in strength. The earliest known blotter registers, or duplicate blotter or scroll copies of old parish registers, date from 1564. Some of the blotter registers contain entries that are not in the old parish registers. In 1600, there was a calendar change, and the year began on January 1 instead of March 25th. The Church of Scotland Presbyterian was established permanently in 1690. The Lord Hardwicke Act mandated marriages in established church parishes from 25 March 1754. Between 1733 and 1843, there were many break-offs from the established church that affected records. These denominations are called nonconformists or secessionists because they seceded from the established church. They are comprised of Episcopalians, Baptists, Catholics, and others. From 1783 to 1793, a tax was imposed on all entries in parish registers. The Register of Neglected Entries was set up following the introduction of statutory civil registration in 1855. It records births, deaths, and marriages proved to have occurred in Scotland between 31 December 1800 and 1 January 1855, but which have not been entered in the old parish registers. The Family Search Research Wiki contains explanation and links to emigration and immigration records for Scotland. In 1707, the militaries of England and Scotland were combined, and the English and Scottish records were also combined. Probate records and wills can provide information for some people further back in time than the church records. Maps and gazetteers is essential to determining where records may have been kept. Search for maps and gazetteers online. Newspapers are always a good source of genealogical information. The British Newspaper Archive has millions of pages of newspapers dating from the 1700s. Keep learning, looking, and searching. The links in the Family History Guide will provide you with valuable information about how to find your ancestors in Scotland. Study the choices in this goal to develop your research skill.